What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So I'm going to be breaking down my watch list today and starting off with the SPX. So taking a look at the daily time frame, we have seen price actually go bullish over the last few days. I mean, if we look at the daily time frame here and we look at the lows of the last occurring trading days, price is just starting to make low or higher lows at this point in time. So definitely, we could see a break of this resistance range. Now, if we're going to see price continue to go bullish, then obviously we have to see a break above this range. A clean break above this range, then we'll see price go bullish and continue to go up into probably 4182, probably even higher than that, maybe 4200. So those would be like the next areas to pay attention to. If price does break above 4158, then we can expect 4200 flat. Now, I would also be very cautious at this area because we can see an aggressive sell-off at this range. If we look at what happened last time, price was in this range. We had a rejection, a retest, and a huge sell-off. Again, retest, rejection, huge sell-off. And actually over here was the Jerome Powell Fed speech where I believe he was talking about monetary policy, which we did see price initially completely go bearish, but then went right back up. So, there's been a lot of sell-offs at this area of resistance. So I would just trade this area with caution. And if you're going to be looking for buys, wait for that candlestick closure above, wait for that confirmed break, and wait for price to establish support here. Then you can look for buys up into 4200. Honestly, I don't know how I would feel about long-term buys just simply because CPI came out higher than expected, which typically rates are being increased, and that's not necessarily a good thing for the stock market. Last time we saw rates being increased in 2022, we saw a huge bearish trend. So just trade with caution. Don't use heavy position sizing, and definitely wait for areas of support to form before you start taking buys. Like you saw over here, huge sell-off. Again, it's an area to be cautious with. Now, US30, let's take a look at US30 here. So US30, go to my drawing tools. So US30, again, if we look at the daily time frame, we have major resistance here at around 34,300. So again, this is another area that you do have to pay a lot of attention to. It does look like price is going to go up into that area, and I would be very cautious at that area. I mean, you could look for possible sells if price does actually reject this area, and I would definitely see as to why you would sell this area. But I mean, just be cautious with this overall like bullish trend. Price is still forming higher lows. And typically when we see price forming highs and higher lows, that's because there's going to be a breakout to the upside. Now, obviously, if price does reject here, there is going to be room to run. If you're somebody who uses trend lines, there you go. You have a trend line there along with an area of support. So, price definitely does have room to run. This is our nearest support range. So if you do sell at this 34,300 range, and I would look for price to come back down to 33,700. Now, if price breaks above 34,300, then I mean, just look for the next highs to be tested. Your next resistance range, which would be 34,578, would be your nearest resistance range over here. And then above that, I mean, you really can't get any higher than 34,945. So those would be the resistance ranges I would look out for. And again, if you do short, I would probably look to take profit at 33,800, which is a level that we've been rejecting over time now. Now with the NASDAQ, very similar situation to the S&P 500, very similar situation to US30. Prices pumping back up into major resistance, which again, you do have to be cautious with. We could see a rejection from this entire level. Now, if price actually does end up breaking above that resistance range, then you could look for 12,900 almost to be tested. And then if price breaks above 12,900, then we could easily see price come up into these next resistance ranges here, which is going to be 13,041. If price does continue to break up and trade higher. Now again, you do have to be careful because this is a major resistance range where we've seen massive sell-offs from. This was a CPI report that came out. We saw, I believe this was a 5% drop in the stock market that day. So again, I would be just very cautious around these areas. These are areas you need to be paying attention to. Now, if you do sell the NASDAQ at this area, good take profit areas would probably be 12,557, 12,600, possibly even all the way down here at 12,450. I mean, those are pretty far stretched, but definitely not out of the picture if we do see a big sell-off coming from this area. Again, I would be looking for shorter term trades at this point in time. If price does break above this area here, then we could see price come all the way up into this range up here. Does seem like steam is slowly being lost here based off the 4-hour time frame. So again, just be cautious with these areas. Now with GJ ultimately broke up, made new highs around 162, 161. Price pulled back into support, 161 flat. So coming into the London session tonight, if GJ continues to maintain above this 161 area, that would be a pretty good opportunity for buys back up into 161.800, which is roughly an 800 pip move. Now if GJ takes out these lows at about 168.17, then I would actually look for GJ to come back down into 160 flat. Now, if you do wait for that retest, which price is kind of doing right now, if you wait for that retest for price to bounce off of 161 and then to come up into 161.800, if price does break 161.800 and for some reason you decide not to take profit or you want to continue to look for a bigger position to run to, then I would just simply target 161, 124, possibly even 161, 344, which is going to be this resistance range. And if price breaks that, then I would look for like 162, 500, and then 163 around there. But definitely price maintaining above this 161 range. Honestly, I would just wait for price to come back down into support, wait to buy at 161 and buy it up into 161.800. Again, if price does take out these lows at 160.800, I would look for sells back down into 160 flat. I don't really trade or look at gold all too much anymore, but we did actually see gold short and break under 1848 support. Let's go to the daily time frame. Daily time frame just reached this minor area. Oh, I wouldn't even say minor. The daily time frame just reached this previous resistance range, which I mean right now it's holding. So if it continues to hold as newfound support, then you could look to potentially start buying gold back up into 1848. If price does break that, I would look for 1870. I mean, price has been in a pretty big bullish run. I wouldn't say the bullish trend is necessarily just over just because we're seeing a healthy normal pullback in the markets. Definitely though, if you're going to be looking to sell, I would wait for a break and retest of 1831 and then probably look to sell it down into your next resistance range, which would be 1819. But honestly, if price does continue to hold, I mean, this is an area that we bounced off of last time. I would probably look to buy this back up. If you're going to be looking to sell, just wait for the break and retest. And that is going to conclude with the breakdown, guys. There's a lot of economic data coming out tomorrow. I'm personally not going to be trading you. We have PMI tomorrow. You guys can go on Trading Economics and look at the economic calendar to see what type of economic data is going to be coming out tomorrow. Other than that, hope you guys have a great rest of your trading week. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Take care.